Well, rainbows and unicorns, my friend. Not really. And if you think the world today is rainbows and unicorns, you might want to stop watching this video right now, because I'm about to piss in your cornflakes big time. So I'll give you a minute. Go ahead and stop it. But if you're like the rest of us, you know this is a very, very dangerous world. And it's getting more and more dangerous all the time. There are people out there who want to kill you. There are people out there who want to steal from you. They want to take everything you have. They want to deny you your God-given rights. They want to deny you your possessions. They want to deny you of everything. It's an ugly world. It's getting uglier. By the way, I have notes. And you want to know why I have notes? It's because I'm getting old. Sometimes a little bit of notes can help out. I want to talk to you today about combat mindset, because whether you believe this or not, anytime you may have to present a firearm, you are in a state of combat. And you might as well understand yourself and the situation. So we'll talk a little bit about combat mindset. And, think about this. Right now there are gangs, armed gangs. There are protesters filling the street almost on a weekly basis now. Things are only going to get worse. And it's up to you to survive. Survival is the only form of justice you're going to find on this planet. I don't care what religion you are, what melts your butter, but your survival and the survival of your loved ones, your family, friends and neighbors is pretty much going to be up to you. So we're going to talk about how to develop a combat mindset for your own good. It's something you'll have to live with. Anytime you present that weapon in an armed situation, there's two outcomes. You're either going to die or you're going to become a winner. And the truth of the matter is, you're not a winner. Not at all. You don't win anything in a gunfight. You only get to walk away with what you came with, and that's your life. So there are no winners. Question for you. Actually, this is oh, by the way, this is empty. There's an old saying that starts with a question. The question is, what's a handgun for? And the answer to that is, what's a handgun for? A handgun is to fight your way to your rifle. We don't carry those things because they're powerful. We carry them because they're convenient. And oftentimes the law won't allow us to carry anything more powerful. So we're pretty much stuck with them. That doesn't mean it's going to be a disadvantage for you. It could be a great advantage. In fact, it is a great advantage once you learn how to use it. You have to develop a relationship with this. No, it's not a cold object that lays around gathering dust on the nightstand, but it's going to be your partner. And as the world gets more and more dangerous, you're going to rely more and more on this partner. You need to develop a good relationship with that. I know that may sound strange to you. And how we're going to do this is to develop some skills. And I will be doing many videos on skill sets. Right now, this one's going to be on mindset, the combat mindset. The first thing I want to talk about is situational awareness. That's you. You have to be aware of your situation constantly. That doesn't mean that you have to have your head on a swivel every minute. But you need to be aware of your surroundings. You go to a mall. You sit down and you people watch. I do that, you do that, everybody does that. you're going to see people who are, well, what I call Bambis. They're sort of off in their own world. They're not really aware of what's going on around them. They're too busy talking about their shoes or whatever their next purchase is, their iPad. And they're not really aware of their surroundings. And there's a thing called the color code of mental awareness. I'm not going to go through it. It's simply too long, but you can look it up. The color code of mental awareness. Well, the first stage I want to talk about is how not to be a Bambi. And that's to be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially if you're packing, right? You carry your blaster on your side, and I get a lot of grief from instructors saying, you shouldn't call that thing a blaster. It gives a bad connotation. And I say, screw you, it's a blaster. That's what I call them. So I carry my blaster, but I'm always on the lookout for danger. You need to be too. And if you're in the mall, you're sitting there people watching, you're going to see other people who are in a state of situational awareness. Who might they be? Well, the police. Sure. They're looking for the bad guys. So they're in a state of situational awareness. Who else might we see? Other people like us who know that this is not rainbows and unicorns anymore. And also you'll see the bad guys. Yeah. They're in a state of situational awareness because they're looking for Bambi. They're looking for the person who has no sense of situational awareness. Those are the easy targets for them. The victims. Physical, emotional, and psychological problems with having a firearm. Well, if you are in a state of combat, all sorts of things are going to happen to you. The first thing that's going to happen to you is something called astonishment. I cannot believe this is happening to me. Okay? That actually takes up a few seconds, if not more. Some people remain in a state of astonishment for a considerable length of time, which is not a good thing. According to the FBI statistics, the average urban gunfight between civilians happens at about 10 feet, lasts about 3 seconds. And the average amount of rounds exchanged during that confrontation is 3. So 3 seconds. If astonishment eats up 3 seconds, well, you're way behind the curve already. So how do you break that? How do you get out of that state of astonishment when something bad comes up against you? The only way you can do that is with training. You're going to do under stress what you are trained to do. And I'll say that again. You are going to do under stress what you are trained to do. If you have no formal training, there's a good chance you're going to come unglued. Yeah. Also, other things are going to happen to you, some physical things. You might get what we call tunnel vision. You are so focused on the threat that you cannot see what is in your periphery. They call it tunnel vision. And a lot of police officers have reported that when they've been in an armed confrontation. They don't see the bad guy over here or the little girl on her tricycle over here. They're so focused on the threat. Another thing that can happen to you is something called auditory exclusion. In other words, you don't hear very well. Your hearing shuts down. And somebody may be hollering at you and all you hear is wah, 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 wah. Auditory exclusion. You're going to get a shot of adrenaline that's going to cause you to shake. The only way to overcome these things is through training. And again, if you don't have training, you're probably going to come unglued. Over the next few weeks, few months, I'm going to be giving you some skill sets with your firearms. And if you train with these skill sets through repetition, you will develop a proper combat mindset.